Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. We'll start off today with our 2-inch brush in a nice soft yellow color. And as you probably noticed, we've already got a little bit of a sketch in here. That's just helped to keep us on track. I think we're going to do a little building. That's very important to sketch your buildings in before you paint them. Otherwise, you'll never get the perspective correct. There. And this building is obviously wet. You could do it in pencil if you'd rather, but we might see how you just kind of smear the edges. That's fine, don't worry about it. There. You could do it in pencil and it wouldn't rub off as easy. There we go. Not too much of this. I'm just trying to put a glow here at the horizon. I don't want a sunset necessarily. There. Now I'll take a little bit of red, blue, and black. Mix them all together here. Add some white. Like I said, this is not a sunset so much. I just wanted a glow. So this is going to eat up most of it. Let's try this out. There we go. Oh, that's going to be pretty. And be careful as they go together. We don't want to get green. So you might just throw a touch more red into it as you come down. There we go. Makes this a little bit safer that way. Next, I'll mix a little bit of yellow and white together here on the filbert brush and wipe most of it off on a paper towel. And let's see, the light's going to come from this way today, so let's just begin to work on some clouds. There. And you can do these nice soft yellow clouds without getting a bright green color if you're careful. Number one, we know there's a little bit of red in that sky, and number two, there's not much paint. Not a whole lot of paint, so there's not much to mix with. So I'm reasonably safe here. If I see green, a little green's okay. If I start to get a lot of green, actually a little green's kind of pretty. If I start to see a lot of green, I'm going to stop and probably add a little red to this color. There. Just soften it and let it blend out. This is a nice soft farm scene today. So these clouds are really going to just help to bring the whole painting together, hopefully. There. Next, with our 3/4 brush, I'll pick up a little brown, black, red, and yellow. A lot of nice colors. So we're just going to go ahead and block in our little building. I guess this is probably a barn. It certainly looks like it to me. And I went ahead and straightened up the top because we pretty much erased it after all the sky work and all that. There. And you notice all the colors in this painting today are sort of working together. And that's great. We might even take a little bit of that blue from the sky and pull it down in the shadow areas of the barn, because that will just give us a nice look that matches the rest of the painting, which is exactly what we're trying to do. There. It's important that you get the perspective right. You don't want this totally dark black, but you don't want it too light either. There, because we want room to put blacks, like in the eave of the roof there. There. All right, this is nice. A much lighter shade over here. Probably a lot of this yellow, beautiful golden color. A little white to make it opaque. There. Now maybe the base of this old building is sort of, maybe it's rocks and stones there. That's what makes up the base. So I just drew a slightly lighter color to represent that, and now I'm separating it with a dark. Because you gotta separate it with a dark, otherwise you can't see it. There, blend it up a little into that base color. Nice. Of course, we'll detail this out. I'm just sort of getting everything laid out. Now would be an okay time to also come in here and start putting in some boards. Just with the tip of this brush. You can draw some really fine lines very easily. Don't worry about your little fence post. You see if you can still see it there? Just don't put too much detail in that area. Now let's take a break from the little barn there and work on some beautiful landscape areas. Maybe this is a road. We kind of had that sketched in like that. So I'll just follow my basic sketch guidelines and drop it in with the 2-inch brush. There. This is just brown, a little yellow, just to change it, make all the painting work together. We're not finished with the barn. We might come back and mess around with it, but for now, I think we're just going to take a break. There. And we can also work on maybe this field here. I want to make the field slightly lighter. There. A little bit of light, and then you can put the dark underneath. There we go. And just create some layers that way. Now with our liner brush and a nice little bit of blue and white, and no thinner added here. I've no way thinned this down because I don't want it to be very, very hard like a limb. Instead, it'll kind of mix with the paint we have underneath and just barely show. What this is just a little bit of a reflected light from the sky. That's why we have this beautiful blue color here. And it's so subtle, but kind of nice when you add it in there. It sometimes just doesn't take much to get a nice effect. It really just doesn't take much. Put a little down here in the stones, this little stone wall. You can put some here too. Now let's just go ahead and quickly and carefully rub on a little bit of highlight down here to this. Well, maybe this is a little path or a road. I don't think it's a road. Maybe it's like a sand wash. I think it is. A little wash down in here because the land is sloping down. Or maybe this is like a dry riverbed. But anyways, the farmer looks like he used it as a bit of a walking path to get over to the barn. So you just stick up a little fence and instant road. That way he doesn't have to walk through the grass. Anyways, that's the thought. That's the reason why we have this. And I want to give it a beautiful sandy color so it looks like a wash. Maybe the front door is over around the bend and we're seeing the back of the barn today. We always see the front of the barn, so I wanted to do something quite different. Now, when you paint in this little road area, rub very, very lightly so that you don't mix together. And also this brown down here is applied so sparingly that I'm almost getting a dry brushed look. It's just a stain on the canvas and I can't pull it off, which is great. There. If you're not getting the same effect, rub down this area with a paper towel to remove the paint that we don't need. Now let's just go ahead and drop on a tiny bit of highlight here to the grass. It's not going to take a whole lot. And I do want to stick to the colors we've been using because, oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? This is like an autumn feel, and it's kind of like the sun is either just starting to come up or it's just starting to set, one of the two. And I just think it's really pretty. There. Don't get this grass overly hard. So you want, as always, doesn't this sound familiar? You want a very minimal underpainting so that you don't get a lot of texture here. And if you want to build up, we might even put some more paint down there. Build up a little more texture down there. That's okay, you can do that. That'll make it look closer. And leave some of this dark as you paint. There. Now with our fan brush and a soft golden color, I'm just gonna drop on some highlight here to the little fence posts. Well, okay, the big fence posts. They're not so little today, are they? And I'm choosing to start with a fan brush. I may change to a 3/4 just because I want to start getting a little bit of texture here in these fence posts and the wood grain. So I get that with the fan brush. And so I'll probably start out with the fan brush and then jump over to the 3/4. Smooth it all together, make it a little prettier. There. Less and less as you go back. Maybe even just go ahead and change right now. And work on that outside edge. There. And at some point these are going to slip into shadow. There. Now let's go ahead and drop in a very interesting old wire here. There we go. And maybe we can kind of have it twisted together like this. See that? Like somebody wrapped it around the fence post rather roughly or loosely. There. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and also my brush line. And thanks for watching.